Alhamdulillah. Ataytu lillahi wa salawatu wa taibatu. Assalamu alaikum an yahani bi rahmatullahi barakatuh. Assalamu alaikum ibdalihi salihin. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah, ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. Allah gave us the signs in the heavens and the earth and also within yourself. He gave you the righteous guidance of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He protected you with all his strength and all his might. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us to strive amalu salihati with patience and constancy. He gave us the revelation, the recitation of the Quran. The Quran is the recitation. He told us to go read and teach and to observe the things of this life. To give guidance to those who are lost. But how can we do that when we're not even trying ourselves? We want people to enter into the fold of Islam. But how can we get people into the fold of Islam if we don't have ourselves straight? We have to understand these things to go forward within life itself. Because how can we teach our children how to be good parents when they grow, when we're not even good parents ourselves? And that's the form of taking taqleed. Taqleed is to take heed to a certain particular thing. Without taqleed, we wouldn't have our language, we wouldn't have our stature, we wouldn't have the things and the ability to want to grow in life. And it is a thing that taqleed brings. It's big. It's so big, and is so big of a warning to the muttaqin and the mu'minun, the Muslims, all of us. Is a warning. Is many degrees in faith. Is many degrees in this way of life. And period. People don't believe it. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He made 7 heavens. 7 heavens. And each heaven have His beautiful glory, the shadi, and His throne, His courtesy sits in between those things. He gave order and direction to everything in the heavens and the earth and everything in between. He gave order and direction to those things. But man tends to not to follow the order and the direction that was brought in front of them. And some men think they are higher than the creatures. But if you're not doing the things that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told you to do, and give you the order to do, and showed you the light of the prophets, and we don't go by that, we are lower than those creatures. Because why we are lower than those creatures? Because those creatures is doing the things that Allah tells them to do, want them to do. The bird in the air, it flies, soar with open wings. It go down, dig up worms, it builds its nest, and it takes care of their babies, their children. Humans, for example, we're not taking care of Allah's green earth. We're not taking care of the things that Allah tells us to take care of. Our faith with our family, with our livelihood, with the salat, with the fi sabilillah, with the sadaqat, with the hajj, with all these things. Allah gave us, and He set forth those things for us. But men tend to stray and lose guidance and hate to take taqleed to something that are good, because taqleed, alhamdulillah, is not always, you cannot take taqlid to everything. Taqlid to everything. Especially when you have no knowledge, because when you have no knowledge of something, that's when you take taqlid. But when you have no knowledge and you are confused and you are stuck in the dark, and you have this person, he's speaking with elegant speech. In order to take taqlid, you have to understand and know right from wrong. When somebody telling you to do this wrong, or to do that wrong, or to do this right, or to do that right, you have to understand right from wrong. The many different levels of life that people go through. We have to crawl before we walk. We have to say goo goo gaga before we actually speak. We have to drink from a bottle before we actually eat. Man is so lost in his bitterness that it's hard for them to see the light of the way to peace, to Islam, to Salam, to Muslim, to these things. So they will hate to walk on the Sirat al-Mustaqim. They hate to go and speak they don't want to go to speak the message of Islam. They don't want to do dawah. They don't want to do these things because they are intimidated and frightened within and inside. But this is where tawakkul come in. Completely trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And when you have completely trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you start to form in yourself of this fear, of this consciousness, of this knowing that Allah is in front of you. But you see Allah, but you see Allah not, but you know that Allah sees you. That's ihsan. And you develop these characteristics of a real person who submits their will to Allah. And you start to become upright, walking upright Muslim. Upright person who submits their will to God in all his ways. Not just sajda, not just ruku, not just qam, not just qiyam, none of it, not just jasa, not just none of that. But it's your heart. It's your heart. Accept guidance, brother, because when we don't have guidance, we will fall on rocky, on sinking grounds. We will fall. If you don't know right from wrong, please, inshallah, try to get a little direction, redirection. I always use this term here because it really helped me to see a better light within myself, to see a better light in the world, and I have a message to prevail to the world, and the message is the Sufism. It says that man, he's become formulated in the womb, and after becoming formulated in the womb, he become born into his mother's lap, Now this is the prison of the womb, and this is the prison of the lap. Now you are into the prison of the walker. After the walker, you're into the prison of the schools. After the prison of the schools, you are into the prison of the job. And after the prison of your livelihood, you into the prison of the grave. Now man, what man asks is, if this is prison that we living here, how can I get free? How can I let my mind go wander free? How can I stand upright to be upright man? And this is how. As long as you seek the pleasures, as long as you seek the face of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the judge, the Maliki Nas, the king of mankind, the ruler, the judge, you make Allah pleased with you, then inshallah Allah will grant you freedom into Jannah, into the freedom of the mind, to the freedom of the heart, and to free your soul. But we have to take taqleed to the good message that was prevailed from us. We are paying attention to the fleshly things, to the worldly things, to this dunya. But we're not paying attention to the spirit of man, to the wonders of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Wa salatu wa salamu khairu mashmin. Muhammad al-Munubi umyi wa alayhi sabihi ajmin. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammad abduhu rasulullah. I declare and bear witness that there is no God but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and Muhammad is his servant and the last prophet of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.